Welcome to Infinitive Stories, where real-life tales entertain, inspire, and sometimes leave you questioning the world around you. Today, we venture into a quiet suburban neighborhood, where everything seems picture-perfect until a series of strange events unravel an unexpected mystery. It's a story of trust, how it's built, how it's shaken, and how the truth, though uncomfortable, always finds a way to emerge. So grab your favorite drink and prepare for an intriguing ride. When I first moved into my new townhouse, I felt like I had finally made it. Years of cramped apartments, paper-thin walls, and noisy neighbors were behind me. This was my sanctuary, a spacious two-story home, with a small garden and a welcoming porch. The neighborhood was idyllic, almost too perfect to be real. The streets were lined with majestic oaks that swayed gently in the autumn breeze, their leaves painting the ground in hues of amber and gold. The houses stood proud, each boasting manicured lawns, cheerful flower beds, and driveways free of clutter. Children laughed and played in the cul-de-sac, while joggers and dog walkers exchanged friendly waves. It felt like I had stepped into a postcard. The first few days felt surreal. I unpacked slowly, savoring the experience of decorating my new home. My evenings were spent sipping tea on the porch, basking in the quietude I had craved for so long. Life seemed perfect, and I naively believed nothing could go wrong here. At first, everything was blissful. The neighbors were friendly and warm, and I quickly found my rhythm in this serene suburban life. Mrs. Thompson, the kindly elderly woman who lived 3 doors down, welcomed me with a freshly baked apple pie and endless stories about the neighborhood's history. The Johnsons, a young couple with a golden retriever named Max, often invited me for coffee and chatted about everything from gardening to the latest Netflix shows. And then there was Ms. Jenkins. Ms. Jenkins was a force to be reckoned with. As the long-standing HOA secretary, she was an ever-present figure in the community, always impeccably dressed in crisp blouses and tailored slacks. Her clipboard seemed permanently attached to her arm. Her sharp eyes missed nothing. She knew who skipped mowing their lawn, who dared to park their car on the street overnight, and, oddly enough, who received the most Amazon packages. Her dedication was, at first, admirable. She was the glue that held the neighborhood together. Little did I know, that same vigilance would soon spark a storm. The trouble began a month after I moved in. I had treated myself to a vintage record player, a gem I had been eyeing for months. When the delivery notification pinged on my phone, I was ecstatic. I could already picture myself lounging in the living room, surrounded by the warm crackle of vinyl. But when I stepped outside to retrieve the box, there was nothing there. Confused, I checked the tracking details again. It was marked as delivered. Maybe the delivery driver left it at the wrong house, I reasoned. I spent the next hour knocking on doors and asking my neighbors if they had seen the package. Everyone was kind and apologetic, but had no idea where it was. Disappointed, I chalked it up to a mix-up and requested a replacement. But then it happened again. A week later, I ordered a skincare set. It wasn't extravagant, just my usual products. Once again, the package vanished without a trace. This time, my confusion turned to concern. Could someone be stealing my deliveries? It seemed so unlikely in such a safe, tight-knit neighborhood. I began obsessively checking my delivery notifications, rushing to the porch the moment a package was marked as delivered. But each time, I was met with the same crushing disappointment. My packages were gone, and I had no idea who or what was behind it. Over the next few weeks, the disappearances became frequent. Every time I placed an order, I found myself on edge. The moment the delivery notification appeared, I would rush to the porch, only to find nothing. The mounting frustration was unbearable. I even began to suspect the delivery service, convinced they were botching the deliveries. One afternoon, while checking my mailbox, Mrs. Thompson approached me, her expression hesitant. "Dear, I don't mean to pry," she said softly, "but have you been having trouble with your packages?" Startled, I nodded. "Yes, they keep disappearing. Have you noticed anything unusual?" She hesitated, glancing around to ensure no one was listening. "Well, I've seen Ms. Jenkins near your porch a few times. I assumed she was doing her HOA rounds, but now I'm not so sure. She always seemed to linger." My heart skipped a beat. Ms. Jenkins, the ever-dutiful HOA secretary? Surely not. But the seed of doubt was planted, and it began to grow. Determined to uncover the truth, I decided to install a security camera. It felt a bit extreme, but I needed answers. If someone was taking my packages, I wanted proof. For days, the camera recorded nothing unusual. The mail carrier dropped off letters, joggers passed by, and squirrels darted across my yard. Just as I began to think my paranoia was unfounded, my phone buzzed one morning. Motion detected. My heart raced as I opened the app. There she was, Ms. Jenkins, clipboard in hand, walking briskly up to my porch. She glanced around, her sharp eyes scanning the street, then bent down and picked up my package. Without hesitation, she tucked it under her arm and walked away as if nothing had happened. I stared at the footage in disbelief. The very person entrusted with maintaining order and harmony in the neighborhood was stealing from me. It was almost too absurd to comprehend. Confronting Ms. Jenkins wasn't easy. The next HOA meeting was unusually packed. Word had spread that I had something significant to share, and the air buzzed with curiosity. When my turn came, I stood up, my laptop clutched tightly. My hands trembled, but I took a deep breath and began. Over the past few weeks, several of my packages have gone missing, I said, my voice steady but firm. I installed a security camera to figure out what was happening, and well, you all need to see this. I played the footage. Gasps rippled through the room as Ms. Jenkins' face appeared on the screen. Her composure cracked as the video showed her taking the package. The room fell silent, all eyes turning to her. She fidgeted nervously, her face flushed. I was just protecting the deliveries, she stammered. There have been thefts in nearby neighborhoods. I didn't want anything to happen here. The explanation felt weak, and the room buzzed with murmurs of disbelief and outrage. Some neighbors expressed sympathy, but most were appalled. The trust Ms. Jenkins had cultivated for years crumbled in an instant. The fallout was swift. The HOA voted to install secure package lockers at the community entrance, ensuring everyone's deliveries would be safe moving forward. Ms. Jenkins resigned as HOA secretary amid mounting pressure, her reputation irreparably damaged. In the days that followed, something remarkable happened. The neighborhood grew closer. People who had only exchanged polite nods began forming genuine connections. We organized neighborhood watch groups, shared tips on home security, and even started a community chat to keep everyone informed. Looking back, I realized this experience was about more than just missing packages. It was a lesson in community, trust, and resilience. It showed me the importance of speaking up, even when it's uncomfortable. And in the end, it brought our neighborhood closer in ways I never expected. So, if you ever find yourself faced with a mystery, don't be afraid to dig for the truth. You might just uncover a story worth sharing. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Don't forget to subscribe to Infinitive Stories, where we explore the twists and turns of life that connect and inspire us all.